He's speaking at the meeting. So obviously this is a guy that's just done what you guys are trying to do. He's moved down to Southampton. I think he's only been there 10 weeks. He's saved pretty much 10 grand in his business bank account already. He's looking to start promoting people in the next couple of months. I think he wants 4 or 5 promotions in the next 6 months. He's just somebody that's doing this thing very well and very quickly. And I instantly liked him when I met him. I only met him last week, and I thought, that's a great guy. And obviously, that's a testament to what he's learned in the business. So he's going to come up and he's going to share his wisdom with you guys. He's just opened up Southampton. Let's hear it from Mr. Paul Weston.
Afternoon, guys. How are you doing?
Awesome.
Got some feeling back in your bum yet? Yeah, I've been to a few of these meetings like that. I'm just taking the legs out. Okay, cool. Most people here kind of been here a day, a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Cool. Do you all remember your first pitch? Yeah, my first time speaking is the same shit, right? But by the end of this, I'll be rocking, I'll be flying a bit, so bear with me a little bit as a start off. So the topic they gave me is how to get to leadership in 4 weeks, which is pretty vague. There's 1,000,001 different things to learn about this business, but everything's revolved around a few systems. But I think initially, before I started here, I had 0 experience. I used to drive lorries, I used to play rugby, I used to party a lot. That was it. And I guess what are people's biggest fears when they first start? Well, what questions go through your mind when you first start the business? What's the biggest concern? Can I make money, right? What if I don't make a sale? Well, the answer is, if you don't learn to make sales, it sucks. It's awful, because you don't make any money. But we could play the what-if game through our entire lives. What if I walk outside this hotel and get run over by a bus company? What if? But what if I actually got good at this? What if I actually learned some systems and learned the attitude and the work ethic necessary to achieve that hundreds and thousands of people are doing? This business doesn't grow at the rate it grows because of luck. So we have to start to learn to apply and really start to educate ourselves and understand that what we're doing isn't new. It's been done before, so I just need to copy it and paste from what I'm doing and move on from that. Again, to get over those fears, get over those concerns, when you all guys went on a day of observation, on a second round interview, an open day, whatever you want to call it, was there anything that you saw the guy that interviewed you or the lady that interviewed you do that, given a little bit of training and confidence, you didn't think you'd be able to? No, absolutely not, right? Because what we do is very simple. It's 6 coherent sentences with a smile on your face to a lot of people. As simple as you think it is when you go out on a day of observation, it is that simple. That's really all it is. Yes, there's stuff that will teach you, impulse factors, the 5 steps, all that sort of stuff. But ultimately, the way that you want to pitch people to pick up the consistency of your sales is the same way that you talk to your mates in the pub, minus the swearing bit. Pretty much. That's what it is. You want to get someone to like you. It's the ability to build rapport, find some common ground with someone, get them on side, get them excited about what we're selling. And that's it. If they don't want it, they don't want it. Move on. Marketing in general is a game of failure. Do we know what that means? There's always more no's than there are yeses. Before we go out tomorrow morning, you know how your day's going to go. You are going to fail 97% of the time for 3% success. But this is the only businesses you could be in where you fail 97% of the time, but you're still pretty good at what you do. So we need to understand the content. It doesn't matter what form of marketing it is, whether it's your mass medias, your billboard posters, your TV adverts. How many times you walk down the street, you've looked at a billboard poster, you've stopped, you've written down the information for it, and then you've gone out and bought that product there and then that day because of that poster? Never? Not even once, not even a DVD or KFC. No, Patrick likes KFC. Cool. But maybe 1 to 0 out of how many thousands of billboard posters? Thank God we don't have to take thousands of no's every day to find one yes. So understand that we're going to take more no's than we are yeses. If you know that's what's going to happen before you go out there, why are you surprised when people say no? If the first person you spoke to tomorrow morning when you go out there, they say no to you, what is your genuine reaction to that person? Alright? No, it's the next person, right? The same way you have that genuine reaction with that person, you need that same genuine reaction with person 90, 91, 92, 93, or however many no's it takes before those yeses come along. Now, we have systems in place. You've got to remember that there's a vested interest for us seeing you guys do well and do well quickly. Not just to make sales, but there's an even bigger interest in getting you guys into management roles. That's the goal. Especially for any owners that run events campaigns as well. You know, they pay money for the rent on the office. We outlay money before people go to the field. Do we just bring people in and cross our fingers and hope that people are going to do well? No, that would be retarded. It would be stupid. You know, why would we do that? We need to make sure that we have something duplicable, something that people can come in and learn and apply with the right attitude and the right work ethic. Now, I've been doing this for about 2 years now, just over, I guess. So either I've been really lucky for 2 years and I've found customers being able to interview people that have also been able to find customers because they've got their fingers crossed every day, or I learned and applied a system that I'd never done before. I attacked it with the right work ethic. I took no's, I took more no's, I doubted myself, I questioned myself. But then I kept getting back up, I kept taking more no's, and eventually the yeses come along. Now, I don't want to make any enemies here today, but no one in this room is special. Now, I'm sure we think it's special, your parents do and your family do as well, but no one in this room is special. You know, there's no magic word, there's no magic fairy dust. And they gave me the topic how to get to leadership in 4 weeks, and everyone's like, I've got to listen to this shit because these are the magic words. You know, there isn't anyway. There isn't any magic words. No one's Neo from the Matrix. No one's Luke Skywalker. You know, there's no Jedi mind tricks. You don't just go out there and say, you're going to sign up today. You get your pen, get your wallet out, let's go. You know, it doesn't work like that. Even with my skill set, even with my experience now, if I go to the field, if I don't expose the message to enough people, no one's signing up. I still have to put that system in. I still have to put that work ethic in. Thankfully, there's people that have been there and done it before me that can tell me what that is. All I have to do is just go out there and apply that. So, I guess the major problem most people have is that as human beings, we're emotional. And you can't allow emotion to get involved in your business. Okay, we have to have something logical to focus on, something as a system that we can follow day in, day out. So, the first system that we have, I'm sure we've all heard this before, is the law of averages. Does everyone know what the meaning of the law of averages is? The more that you do something repetitively, the more a pattern will emerge. So if I toss a coin, I either see a heads or a tails, right? If I toss a coin enough times, I'm going to see that 50-50 pattern. So all I've got to do is figure out what my conversion rate is, what my pattern is, for whatever campaign or whatever division I'm on, whether it's residential, events, or business to business. Now, the average stock, what we're looking for, 100 people a day, we're going to find 3 to 5 customers out there. Now, if I'm looking to get consistent in sales, to set that example, I need to consistently put the work effort in. Has everyone here heard the gumball machine theory yet? Yeah. You know, everyone know what a gumball machine is? It's got like 100 balls in it, and you put a token in, you turn the knob, and it comes out, right? So if we have a gumball machine that's got 100 balls in there, 95 are red, and 5 are blue, and you have 100 tokens, it's 1 token per ball. How many tokens do you need to put in to guarantee me 5 blue balls? 100, right? Could it be, though, that after the first 10 tokens, the 5 blue balls come out? It could be, right? Could it be that after 60, they come out? But could it be that it's token 96, 97, 98, 99, and 100 where the blue balls come out? It could be. But if I'm looking to gain some consistency and get into the second phase of the program and actually start building my business, I need to make sure I put 100 tokens in every day. Therefore, I need to see my law averages every day. I can't do it one day and not another. I need to understand that every day is going to be different. Now, I don't want to kind of focus too much on the systematical side of the law of averages and the 5 steps and the 8 steps and the impulse factors, but it's more going to be the mentality and the attitude towards them. But you've got to remember, if you're looking to become a professional, Did anyone here actually start the business to do sales? No, me neither. Was anyone excited? A little story about myself. I went out on a day of observation. I got, the first round interview I did, I sat there, I couldn't remember what I'd applied for. I'd sent out, send CV. Got a call in, I was like, great, I got an interview, turned up and just kind of sat there and smiled and nodded. I was like, yeah, Mark, sales, marketing, yeah, okay. Didn't have a clue what I was interviewing for. Not a clue. And they went, management progression, got all excited. Came in on a day of observation. They took me out, it was January, middle of the snow, the winter. They said, make sure you dress professionally. So obviously I had to put suit shoes on. I walked out of the office, my feet were numb within about 2 minutes. And they took me to a place called Kilburn. Anyone ever been to Kilburn before? Yeah, I come from Croydon. It's like a step up from Croydon. Awesome. But I got to Kilburn and we started walking into, the first one was an estate agent, so we walked in there and they said, hi there, speak to the manager, they're from a charity, and I was like, sales and marketing. Came out of that one, I walked in and I was not very excited. I was like, oh my god, I've got a degree. Okay, but it didn't make much sense to me. It didn't make much sense why the person who was interviewing me was doing this. They had more experience than I had. They seemed to have plenty of options on their plate. You know, the lady that took me out in the interview, I think her dad worked or owned like an insurance company or a stockbroking firm or something like that. You know, she had plenty of options. So the only reason I stuck the morning part of the interview out was pure curiosity. I was like, why is she doing this? Then we got to lunchtime. They broke the lunchtime program down for me, spoke about the opportunity progressing for management, the people that work hard enough at it, and that's where the penny kind of dropped. I was like, that's why you did this bit, right? And I kind of felt like a little bit naive, a little bit of an idiot, but I was still not excited about the field. But I was excited about the end opportunity. Now, throughout that day, there was nothing I saw her do that I didn't think I could. So I needed to understand how was she able to do it. So I had to master the things that she was doing. So she was using a pitch. She was talking to the customer about the charity or whatever it was we were on that day. And I learned later on that was based around 5 steps to a conversation. Which sounds stupid. I'm going to teach you how to smile and say hello to someone. Now, it's less about what you say and more about how you say it, but the biggest reason why people say no when they're being sold to is they get confused. They either don't understand what the product is, why it's going to help them, what the process is. So the only reason we use a 5 steps to a conversation is to take that customer on a logical journey. So I need to get great at making sure that the customer understands everything that I'm doing. So again, I want to break things down within my introduction. I want to make sure I'm great at building rapport. I have my C factors, all that sort of stuff, right? The goal of the journey of the 5 steps, I just need to introduce myself, introduce who we represent, what we're doing, why it's going to help them, and why they're going to want what everybody else in the local area has got as well. I need to get my head around that. It's less about the words that come out of my mouth and more about how I say them. Again, if you're going to pitch people, it's the same way you talk to your mates in the pub, minus the swearing, right? You've got to get people to like you. So understand why the 5 steps are important. Understand why it's the little things within that conversation that are going to make the difference. Is it the voice fluctuations, the strategic pause, whatever it is? If I'm looking to get myself ahead, I can't think about the result. I have to think about the actions within it that are going to create that result. So I need to break my 5 steps down as much as possible and take it step by step and learn it and master it and become a professional at what I'm looking to achieve. Okay? That's not going to happen overnight. Tom spoke about the 8 working habits. Tom's speech was awesome, by the way, right? Yeah, I've got to follow that. Appreciate that, Tom. Alright, thanks a lot. Makes me feel good. Must be charities. Now, the idea of the 8 working habits, right? Everyone here is self-employed or a sole trader or your own boss, you're independent, whatever it is, right? That means we cannot tell you what to do. But what we're here to do is suggest and guide and advise on some positive things that are going to help you be successful. Now, why is the sales part of our program the first phase of what we do? Because it's our business. It's what we do. We sell to people. So it'd be a great idea to start that and actually master that, have that strong foundation. Now, everything that you're going to learn and master in phase 1, is going to set you up for phase 2, 3, 4, 5. I still use the same stuff every day, the same 5 steps, the same 8 working habits, the same impulse factors every day, even now running my own business. So I need to get great at it. If I'm going to progress, if I'm going to get to leadership, it's not about thinking about my results, it's about how great can I get at these habits? How great can I get at my 5 steps, my impulse factors, and so on. Now the thing about habits, if you're struggling in the field or you want to get ahead and you're learning something new, we have to create a positive working habit. But it takes 21 days to create a habit. And if I don't have that habit already, it means that I need to change. And the hardest thing to do in the world is change, because I have to do something that I'm not used to doing. I have to change my thought process towards that. And that's tough. You know, there's a lot of people in this room now that won't be here next week because it was too tough for them to change their habits. You know, in any set, the reason sales is hard is because it's difficult. People have to change. They have to maintain a positive attitude, taking 100 no's a day. You know, that's not easy. But we have to focus on those habits. We have to focus on changing ourselves. Now, the impulse factors that we use. You know, why can we do this from anywhere from charity to insulation to telecoms, whatever it is because, again, the product isn't the product. The product is us. It's us. It's our ability to get someone excited, our ability to get someone on side, our ability to get someone to want what we've got. So master these impulse factors. Now, usually they're tools of trade. They're tools that all the leaders, all the owners in your offices, they've all mastered themselves. If they can do it, you know, I had no experience before I started. I learned it. Have the ability to take the time, give yourself time to learn and master everything. But we'll focus less on the result, again, more on the action of what you're trying to achieve, right? You just understand that the impulse factors, all the tricks that you've got to master to get ahead into leadership in a short amount of time, there's no success without failure. So you have to understand that you're going to fail at these. These impulse factors, again, same with when you're actually out there selling in the field, it's not designed to work with everybody. It's just designed to work with the impulsive people. So when I'm going out there, all I'm doing, I'm fishing for people. I'm throwing out as much impulse as possible. You know, I'm throwing out my greed and my urgency and my Jones effect, and I'm just looking for a bite. I'm just looking for that customer that goes, oh, what's that? That's all I'm looking for. And then I'm looking to use my 5 steps. I'm looking to reel them in. So you all would have been taught your 5 steps, your impulse factors, your 8 habits. We all know we've got to learn these. We all know we've got to become a master and all that sort of stuff. But if we want to progress quickly, it's really the mentality towards these systems that we use. Do I believe they're going to work for me or not? So it took me 3 weeks to get promoted into leadership when I first started, and I had no experience. My first week I was just pretty excited. I went out there, I needed to make money. So I just went out, I didn't really know what I was saying, and I did pretty well because I was thinking less about the result. It was just the general excitement that I had. The second week, I was like, head to man, I'm ready for leadership. I'm going to get promoted this week, I'm going to get into leadership, I'm going to start moving forward, start doing my business. I went out there and got crushed. Like 0, 0, I think I got a 1 on the Wednesday because my trainer gave me a sale, which is very nice, so I appreciate that. £20 today, lovely. 12 hours in the field of taking notes. But then I had to really think about why was I able to get results the week before and not this week? And it was the attitude I took towards the day. I went out there, the second week I didn't do it, so I was going out there focused on the result. My expectation was that I've just got to find someone to say yes. But the expectation now is I'm looking for people to say no. The more no's I get, the quicker I get my no's, the more I buy time in the field. How many people have been to university? Cool. Yeah, me too. Did you take your exam on the first day? No? So you have to put in the long hours in the lectures, long hours in the library overnight, and after about 3 years you get to take the final exam, right? Imagine if we took that same work ethic and that same mentality that we did for our degree towards this business. You know, the results that we could achieve with that same work, with those same expectations. I know when I went to uni that I wasn't going to be great straight away. I had to learn that. So why should that be any different in business? Now, everything in life has a trade-off, right? So it's much like the trade-off between a work ethic and a skill set. Now, a work ethic will always outweigh a skill set. Everyone heard of a guy called Will Smith? Do you know that guy made and lost £1 million before he was 18 years of age? So before he was 18, he's already made $1 million, but then he's lost $1 million, he's got to pick himself back up. Like there's a meeting I'm sure a lot of you have seen as well, that Will Smith talks about if you and him were going to run on a treadmill, there would be two results. Either Will Smith would win, or he would die. Because his work ethic, his commitment to achieving something that he wants is better than everybody else's. And again, if you've got to understand what we're looking to achieve here, we have to put that work in. I have to expect to fail a fair bit before I start. But the more I keep hitting the rock, eventually that rock's going to break. But that can only come from your work ethic. We can teach you a system, but unless you're going to go out there and work at that and apply that every day and commit to that on a daily basis, why should you expect to find a result? Like I say, when I started, I didn't have any experience, so I was told you speak to 100 people a day. So I went out and spoke to 125. Why? Because I knew I wasn't very good. This allowed me an extra 25 opportunities to make mistakes and still hit what the industry standard was. But I was in a situation where I hadn't worked for 8 months, so I had to make money as quickly as possible. So I just decided to work a little bit harder than everybody else. I'm pretty glad I did now. Last 9 weeks have been very nice. And again, and just kind of realise that, if the system works for myself and all the speakers up here and all the people that are in that other room where we all want to be by the next meeting, why isn't it going to work for yourself? You've got to understand you are going to be potentially just as good as everybody else. But like John said earlier, the only difference is time. You just haven't been here as long as everybody else. Now, again, there's systems in place, we could go and we could talk about them all day, but it's really the mentality towards how I attack this. If I go out there and think that the system isn't going to work for me, or I think I'm never going to be confident enough to do it, then it's going to be a self-fulfilling prophecy. You're never going to achieve. Henry Ford, the guy that created Ford Motor Company, he was a horrible person, by the way, but he was quoted saying, if I think I can, I will. If I think I can't, I won't. And both of those statements are true. If I think I can go out there and apply a system, and I can work hard, and I can keep a positive attitude, the likelihood is I'm going to achieve that. But if I doubt myself, then I'm eventually going to lose out of the whole opportunity in the first place. Now, everything that we've done in our lives so far, they've led us to being in this room right now, having this opportunity in front of us. If we want, I didn't come here I didn't start this to do sales. I didn't even start this to run a sales and marketing company. You remember when you were a kid and you're at school and they're like, what do you want to be when you're older? And I want to be an astronaut. I want to be a fireman. I didn't sit there going, yeah, I want to run a direct sales and marketing company. It's awesome. That's not why I got into this. What I got into this for was the opportunity to manage my own time. It was the chance that as you can tell, I like eating a lot. But the problem I had before now was I go to a restaurant and I'd eat from the price list and not from the menu. Whereas now, that's the complete other way around. Now I don't even need to look at the other side of the page. But they were big wants. It's an above average lifestyle. If I wanted an above average lifestyle, I had to put an above average work ethic in. I had to get great at marshalling what I wanted to do. But I had to have the mentality that if I truly want that. There's a lot of people that say, I want this, I want that, but they don't have it. It's because they never commit. They never back themselves. They always find an excuse. They always doubt themselves. Now, I'm pretty lucky that I'm a really stubborn guy. So I don't doubt myself. I back myself in any situation. A lot of people say that's bullshit, that I just talk. But I do. I back myself. I want to be out there. And if I continue to take that work ethic and believe in myself and my business, my opportunity, remember, you're all independent. So what are you going to do to make a difference in your business? How are you going to attack it? What's your mindset when you wake up in the morning? Is it that, okay, cool, I've just started this, I need to learn my 5 steps and my 8 steps? Or is it, this is impossible, it's never going to happen? Well, you've got to start to train your mind to think successfully. Which brings me on to my next point, that success breeds success. You become a product of the environment that you're in. We're in a unique position that what we're trying to achieve here has been done many times before by many other people. There's ample opportunity to get into that situation. I was very fortunate at the office I started in. There's a vice president in there, regional consultants, there's promoting owners, and all I did was just hang about with them. That's all it was. Sometimes that situation was forced on me. I was forced to go out for dinner at 10 o'clock at night when I was still on an hour journey home. But ultimately, I started to think the way that these guys think. And thoughts create actions, right? And actions create results. So it depends what my thought process is. If I'm going to think negatively, I'm going to have negative actions. If I have negative actions, I'm going to have negative results. And vice versa. If I have positive thoughts, I'm going to create positive actions. If I have positive actions, I'm going to create positive results. Now, a lot of people have, they have big wants, big wants in life, but wants create effort. But effort also creates that result that you're looking for. So how much effort do I commit to on a daily basis? You can get to leadership in a 4-week period, but how can I honestly say when I come back at the end of each day that I have put 100% into everything? Can I honestly say I have done everything I possibly could to achieve my results today? And if that answer is, well, I can't put 95% in or 97% in, then you don't deserve to hit your goal. If you really want something, you're going to go out there and make it happen. But that's your choice. Again, Tom spoke about the right choice versus the easy choice, right? Again, and just because we tell you what a standard is or what an expectation is, why not? You're all independent. Why not raise your own standards? So something that we started in our office down in Southampton was the bell when I was going through the field was 3. We just raised it to 4. Why not? The expectation myself. Even if we don't quite achieve that, we're still just as good as everybody else. Same thing, right? If I got told when I first started I would speak to 100 people, I'm going to go out there and speak to 125. Yeah, I've been to lots of these meetings, normally sat where you guys are sat, looking up at the speaker, and you're taught all these skills and how to get consistent in sales, and you've got to get through the program. And my mentality was, I want to get good at this, so I'm making money for the guy that runs the deal. But the more I started to educate myself, the more I started to realise that me mastering these skills and attacking them on a daily basis with the right attitude and the right mindset was an opportunity for me to not just be consistent, make consistent money, but that consistency of that standard I hit became an example. Everyone here is looking to get into that leadership role, and that's what leaders do. They set examples on a daily basis. If I can set an example, someone can follow that. If I can get more than one person to follow that, I can run an office business. All we do is teach people how to smile and talk to each other. And again, just kind of following a lot on from what Tom was talking about, the product is always you. It's always yourself, right? It's how you attack that day. It's how you handle every situation that you're in. Now we hear the word attitude an awful lot. What is an attitude? The results we get are a 90% attitude, 10% skill set. It's how we handle the situation we're in, not the situation itself. So if you are nervous about your first pitch, what's my thought process behind that? Is it, I'm going to be too nervous, I can't talk, I can't do this, or is it, I'm going to go and attack it, I'm going to work in an uncomfortable position? Because the more I feel uncomfortable, the more I'm learning. The more I learn, the quicker I progress. But I have to attack that to every aspect of what we do. So if we do have examples of people that are around us, and you guys are looking to get into that room next door, then who are we hanging about with? When you guys come back at the end of the day, who are you talking to? Are you talking to each other in the office? Or am I spending time with the people that are where I want to be? Now I need to start educating myself. I need to hang about with those sort of people. Now, if this truly is your business, you truly do want to get ahead, you will go out of your way to educate yourself. Be that third-party information, books. I hate reading. I'm terrible at it. If I start reading, I fall asleep. Hopefully, like no one is. Yeah. But I use YouTube a lot. There's a lot of stuff on YouTube. There's thousands of videos that are going to help. Cheers, Ed. Appreciate that, mate. Just falling asleep if anyone wants to turn on. He's the guy that's not going to get ahead. Okay, but again, it's that effort, it's that work, it's that mentality that I take towards educating myself, towards hanging about with people who want to be. I used to come to these meetings that said you go and network, and I'm like, I don't know what to say. Can you teach me how to smile at someone? It was weird, but it was uncomfortable for me to go up and hang about with these people. But again, the more I push myself, the more I attack to get into that uncomfortable zone, you know, the more I learn, the more I start to think the way that they thought. Now, there's 4 kind of common traits to successful people, not just in this industry, but in any kind of business. And these definitely kind of started to ring true as I went through the field. And one is that you need an unbelievable work ethic. Anyone that's successful has that unbelievable work ethic, no matter what it is. When they get up in the morning, you know, and it's raining and it's cold outside, you know, they don't hit that snooze button. They get out of bed, they jump straight in the shower, they will commit to everything. Even if they don't see a result straight away, they have that unbelievable work ethic. Number 2 is they have a positive solution, half glass full attitude. You know, if they want to get from point A to point C, point B is irrelevant. They're not worried about what point B is. You know, they're always going to find a way. In fact, somebody in my office has just been promoted to leadership, phoned me up and she spoke about, do you remember you were a kid and you sat next to like an ant's nest? And then you used to kind of put your hand down or a can of Coke on the floor and the ants would then climb over your hand, or they'd go under it, or they'd then try and go around it. But all they did is they had an attitude and a work ethic of whatever happens, I'm not going to stop until I hit that goal. You know, and that was something that's just come into my business that ran that impact with myself. You know, and that's very much the kind of mentality and the work ethic we need to take towards what we're going to achieve. Other common traits of successful people, the ability to stand your ground when everyone else falls away. You know, when people quit around you, you know, when I first started, I think I started with 12 people on the same day. By the end of the next week, there was 2 of us. And a lot of people were like, why haven't we left? And I was like, because there's less competition, I should get to management quicker. but that's the way I looked at it. Now, I'm not here for somebody else's business. Other people around me don't pay my bills. I do. So what do I have to do? I have to have that work ethic, that mentality to get ahead, right? And I guess the last successful trait, or trait of people that are successful, is that people will tell you that you're crazy. You shouldn't do it. Now, when I started, my mum still wants me to go back to teaching. I'm like, Mum, teachers earn 25 grand a year. I've just turned that over in my business in 10 weeks. She's like, you shouldn't do it. My mate's like, don't do it. You know, you work harder than I do. I earn more money than you, and all this sort of stuff. And in the short term, they were right. They did. But do you still think that? Do you think they still think I'm crazy now? Definitely not. They love what I do now. But again, if I'd have listened to those people when I first started, I would not be stood here speaking. There's a guy called James Carnes. I don't know who James Carnes is. Dragon's Den, right? He did. We had a big rally in January, and he came up and he spoke for kind of, I think it was maybe 45 minutes, but I think he got paid 10 of them. But his opening quote was, to be successful, you must first observe the masses and then do the complete opposite. So if we look at what the masses are doing in the UK right now, you know, they're on minimum wage, they're mainly like the benefits, there's unemployment. So do I want to be like the masses in the UK right now, or do I need to do the complete opposite? You know, I definitely feel that's what this is. You know, it's an opportunity to do something that a lot of people wouldn't do or don't have the commitment to do. You know, the people that would doubt themselves and don't want to achieve. But if I'm surrounded by people that can do it, it's why you're all here. You know, you've got to get ahead, you've got to go and focus on that. Now, there's a reason why 93% of the world work for 7% of the world. The 93% want what the 7% have got. They're just not prepared to do what the 7% did to get that. Cool. And that's kind of my last kind of point on this, is that if you're going to achieve something that you want, you've got to work at it. You've got to have the mentality that you can achieve it. There's systems in place that you can apply and work at, but ultimately it's your choice on a daily basis. So a lot of people will come away, they'll start the field tomorrow all excited, but by 2 o'clock in the afternoon they've lost their attitude. You know, you've got to have that mentality to be consistent in everything you do, keep hitting the rock until it breaks. But guys, that's me done today.